things have to be useful, otherwise they don't really have much. They sort of have to be useful. They have to be usable, because I think that's a really important part of what it is that we do. But there is that third strand, which without it, the sort of first two are kind of a little bit pointless. It has to be delightful as well. It has to have that element of delight in it that sort of gives it a spark that gets people to want to step into an experience with it. You know, if you don't have those, you know, we'd all be driving Mondeos. You know, it's sort of brands that are just useful and usable. They sort of fall by the wayside, and they're not the ones that you sort of are passionate about and engage with. I think the ones that have delight in them as well are the ones that you sort of really sort of embrace and put your arms around. I think, you know, useful and delightful is the thing that you need to make sure that you have. I'm a bit tired of every agency having a sort of crowdsourced platform to say, oh, you know, come and join in, and we'll put our briefs up and you'll answer them and everything else like that. It just sort of feels like there's a bandwagon that's being jumped upon. I think there are lots of creative people out there that are really into brands and do some fascinating stuff. Well, I think sooner or later the market's just going to turn around and sort of say, we're just not into it. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to be entertained. I want to, you know, a brand to give me delightful things that I can talk to my friends about. But that's as far as it goes. I don't want to go and get. I don't want to go and sort of end up shooting my own videos for them to put between the FA Cup final ad breaks, whatever it is. You know, there are lots of people out there doing some very great things, but I think it needs. I think a brand needs to go out there with certain messages and inspire people to do stuff, and I think they are still the owners of their brand. I think all the recent cuts are quite a good thing, and I think, I don't know if this has been sort of spoken about before, but it all got a bit too fat. It all got sort of a bit too sort of loads of money goes in these grand productions and grand sort of ad spends that sort of take sort of properties everywhere. And I think the nice thing about what's happening now is that people are being a lot more imaginative with less. People are thinking on their feet. People are being nimbler. They're being quicker, and I think better work's coming out the other end. I think recessions are quite sort of difficult things, and lots of families will suffer because breadwinners will be out of work, or budgets will be cut, and people will not have the money that they need to have, and I think sort of put that sort of one side. But I think for industry and for business, and for, I think, things like advertising in the market that we're in, it's kind of a good thing, because it feels like the industry's been getting away with a little bit too much for a little bit too long, and now that they sort of the cuts are coming in, we can refocus down upon the things that actually work the hardest. Gone are the days when we have sort of great big over-polished productions, and I'm not saying we need to get back to sort of that'll do creativity, but there is a sort of point when we sort of say, do you know what, that's a great idea and we can execute in this way, and we can roll it out for a lot less and a lot better. You put the right people around the table and you can solve most problems in a day, you know, so why not have an agency that just survives on one day? And I think that's a really important thing about the times ahead of us, is that we've got to be nimble, we've got to be clever, we've got to choose the right talent to pull into workshops and brainstorms and a very different, fluid way of working. I sort of think the days of us, you know, going through creative rounds and working things up to the nth degree before, you know, unveiling them to the public are gone. I think that's sort of, you know, you've got to be nimble, you've got to be quick, and you've just got to try stuff out, try it, build it, try it again.